Just think about this for a minute, okay? Most women with postpartum psychosis, and we're not talking about the baby blues or postpartum depression, and all three of these things, they are scary, debilitating, etc. Most women with postpartum psychosis do not kill their children. Just because you have postpartum psychosis doesn't give you an out for killing your children. Psychosis, postpartum psychosis, it's very rare. And infanticide, or filicide, in that state is rarer again. About 4%, depends where you are, of women with postpartum psychosis will actually murder their children. And then their culpability is up for debate again. Now, what's the percentage again that were truly desperately vulnerable? I mean, some people don't like Andrea Yates. They'll say she's manipulative. I think she was a victim, and I think she is one of the very, very rare examples of someone that just needs to be in a psychiatric hospital for life because she is very unwell. But does Lindsay Clancy have more in common with garden variety killers, evil wenches that kill their children for selfish reasons? People with zero conscience. People like Diane Downs, Susan Smith, for example. And I know we'll be able to name some others. It's so rare to have postpartum psychosis and then to, on top of that, kill. And I think there's another common denominator there with the killers that is not the psychosis. I think it is something else. It is the evil. It is the selfishness. We don't know what sort of woman Lindsay Clancy was. We don't know what sort of man Patrick was. He didn't kill the children. So the trial should be about Lindsay, although Patrick is a mitigating circumstance, possibly. But I really think there's more in common with evil, just bad people. Many people get psychosis. They are more a danger to themselves, statistically, very sadly, than they are to others. And I think most people that have experienced psychosis, no matter what the dark and scary thoughts were, they know the core of themselves. You know, you're capable of it with and without. With and without. And it's something I'm struggling with Lindsay Clancy's case. And we don't want to get to the point where postpartum psychosis is going to be an out. And we don't want to set a dangerous precedent because, hey, we all know it seems just all too easy to kill little children and get away with it. We don't want to dehumanize and traumatize and re-traumatize women that are suffering. It's not about that. We need to be there as support systems. Now, with Lindsay and her Seroquel, so you've got people like, $5 holla motta wanking on about Lindsay's innocence, if you will, and I mean that's just par for the course, but and saying, look, she was given Seroquel, huge doses, and she's bipolar. And look, if Lindsay had bipolar, which might have been a good diagnosis actually, then the Seroquel should have helped her sleep. And yet she didn't sleep. Oh, but wait, did she actually take the Seroquel? Maybe not. Did the healthcare professionals, trying desperately to help her with something else, going by what she was telling them or not telling them? What's Lindsay's responsibility here? Why are people so quick to try to offer her excuse after excuse? 3 little children. One, a little baby who wasn't even walking yet, who couldn't talk. No, I think Lindsay's got more in common with your common garden variety of evil killer. Would you say sociopath? I don't know. I mean, I was just riffing before when I'm saying, hey, maybe that was Patrick doing a search and asking if sociopaths can be cured because he thinks his wife's one. But maybe it was Lindsay just setting up a little trail. Maybe it was Lindsay really asking, is Dawson a psychopath and a sociopath, and can he be fixed? I mean, she already felt like he didn't respond to her parenting, and she thought she was failing. Did she find an excuse that it's not just, hey, this is just regular life, there's something wrong with my boy, if he can't be fixed, oh well, there's my little excuse, I'll have that in the back of my mind when I kill him violently? Or was she asking about Patrick because he just doesn't seem to have an ebb of human emotion? Maybe she felt that he was very distant, not really getting it. Who knows? I don't think people are understanding just how rare it is for a woman to kill a child because of postpartum psychosis. Usually it's because they are fucking assholes. It's neglect. It can be mental illness. It can just be pure evil. It can be selfishness, rage, whatever. And you can put that down to drugs and lifestyle and her trauma. But it's so rare. So why do we automatically jump to, shit, hey, if this was postpartum psychosis, then Lindsay didn't do it. She's not culpable. I mean, she'd done it, but she couldn't help it. It was just a given. I mean, if it was a given, how many more times a percent would we have of killed children? If it's average, depending where you are, 4% of women with postpartum psychosis, not the baby blues, not depression, and those things are serious too, and we need to do better in society. Wouldn't we see much more of this? Every time someone has psychosis, postpartum psychosis, they'd be killing a child or their children. So every time an adult or a teenager has psychosis, they'd be killing a child too? It doesn't happen that way. We do have these tragic, awful events happen where, young teenagers, I mean, there's those, on some really awful drugs, and they attack strangers in their neighbourhood and commit cannibalistic acts. Yes, again, so rare. Evil exists, okay? Evil exists. People can be just plain bad. People can be good, and they can make us feel really bad about ourselves because we wonder how naturally it comes. Did they work on it, or did they just feel really naturally good? It's hard to be good, but it's not hard to not be a killer. Everybody has sick thoughts at times. I would guarantee it pretty much to be everybody, or feels, has overwhelming thoughts, has dark thoughts, has flashes of images of things that they just want to put out of their mind. The carrying it out is something else. And the attitudes around carrying it out is something else. And we shouldn't just write it off because poor old Lindsay's got postpartum psychosis. Possibly. She was not diagnosed, and, well, not before the murders. I just think before it got to that, there would have been even more of the observations. Observations would have been just much more starkly in line with what you see when you watch Psychosis. And don't wank on to me, people, about masking, okay? Don't. It's not that. And I hope that the jury is smart, that they've got, rare common sense, and that they see this for what it is. No matter, I'm not saying not to be totally devoid of compassion for Lindsay, for Patrick, but this is a case of murder. It's a case of triple murder, violent murder against Cora, who was only 5, Dawson, who was only 3, and Callan, who was only 7 months old when he was attacked, and he died in hospital at 8 months old. We shouldn't forget them, and we shouldn't forget how rare this event is, and what's less rare, a woman without postpartum psychosis killing children by various means. And who are we going to side Lindsay with, okay?